There are mornings when the heart wakes before the body does, mornings when thoughts begin moving before the feet touch the floor. Questions rise quietly, concerns gather softly. Responsibilities appear in the mind before the sunlight reaches the room. And for many listening today, there may be a question sitting quietly beneath everything else. God, will you truly provide for me? If that question lives in your heart today, bring it into this moment without fear and without shame. You do not need to hide your concerns from God. You do not need to pretend that uncertainty does not affect you. The God who formed your heart already knows what weighs on it. He sees the moments when you smile in public and worry in private. He knows the responsibilities you carry. He sees the needs you have spoken aloud and the ones you have kept hidden. So in this quiet morning prayer, allow yourself to rest in this truth. God's provision is not delayed because of your weakness, and His care is not measured by your circumstances. Father, in heaven, we come before you with peaceful hearts and open hands. We do not come pretending that everything is easy. We do not come acting as though we understand every season. We come honestly. We come believing. We come trusting that you remain faithful in every season of life. Lord, for the person listening right now, surround them with your peace. Let your presence settle gently over their thoughts. Quiet every anxious voice. Calm every racing thought. Remove the pressure that tells them they must solve everything immediately. Remind them that you are already present in places they cannot yet see. Father, thank you that you are not surprised by any need. You are not discovering today's concerns for the first time. Before this morning arrived, you already knew what would be needed. Before this month began, you already saw every challenge. Before the year unfolded, your hands were already reaching into the future with wisdom and mercy. Thank you because your provision is not limited by what appears possible. Lord, there are people listening who have worked hard and still feel tired. People who have prayed and still wait. People who have tried to remain faithful but quietly wonder if anything is changing. Draw near to them now. Speak peace where fear has been speaking. Let them remember that waiting is not abandonment. There are seasons when your provision arrives quickly and visibly. And there are seasons when your provision works quietly beneath the surface before it becomes visible. Teach us to trust you in both. Father, remove the belief that every delay means rejection. Remove the fear that silence means absence. Remove the thought that unanswered questions mean unanswered prayers. Instead, plant steady trust. Teach us to believe that your timing is not careless. Your timing is not random. Your timing carries wisdom deeper than what we can see. Lord, help us release comparison. Protect us from looking around and measuring our journey against someone else's journey. When others seem ahead, remind us that you are writing different stories. When others receive quickly, remind us that your love is not reduced. When our path feels slower, remind us that slower does not mean forgotten. You know the perfect time. You know the perfect place. You know the exact moment when provision becomes blessing instead of burden. Father, for every listener carrying financial concerns today, breathe peace into their spirit. Some are wondering how bills will be covered. Some are thinking about their family. Some are carrying responsibilities no one else understands. Some are hoping for work. Some are hoping for stability. Some are hoping simply for enough. Meet them gently. Provide in ways that reveal your kindness. Open doors they did not expect. Curricate opportunities they could not arrange themselves. Bring wisdom where decisions are needed. Bring favor where obstacles have stood. Bring rest where exhaustion has taken root. Lord, remind us that provision is more than money. Provision is strength when we feel weak. Provision is wisdom when choices feel confusing. Provision is peace when circumstances feel uncertain. Provision is support when we feel alone. Provision is unexpected help. Provision is daily grace. Provision is the ability to keep moving forward, one faithful step at a time. Thank you that you care about every part of our lives. You care about homes. You care about families. You care about work. You care about dreams. You care about practical needs. You care about the details we sometimes believe are too small to mention. Father, teach us not to let fear become our guide. Fear says everything must happen now. Fear says there will never be enough. Fear says we are alone. Fear tells us to carry tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. But your presence speaks differently. You remind us that today has enough grace. You remind us that you remain near. You remind us that provision often comes one day at a time. Lord, help us trust daily provision. Help us notice the blessings we overlook. Open our eyes to small mercies, the conversations that encourage us, the opportunities that appear quietly, the moments of strength, the unexpected kindness, the protection we never saw, the peace that arrives without explanation. Help us become people who recognize your hand in ordinary moments. Father, restore hope. There may be someone listening who has become discouraged. Maybe they expected answers already. Maybe they thought this season would have ended by now. Maybe they feel disappointed. Meet them with compassion. Remind them that hope does not disappear because circumstances feel slow. Restore confidence in your faithfulness. Restore expectation. Restore gentle courage. Teach us to trust you without forcing outcomes. Teach us to rest without giving up. Teach us to move forward without fear. Teach us to remain faithful while waiting. Lord, let this morning become a turning point of peace. Not because every situation changes immediately, but because our hearts become anchored again. Let us remember that your goodness is not measured by speed. Your care is not measured by visible results. Your faithfulness remains steady through every season. Father, bless every home represented here. Protect families, cover children, strengthen marriages, bring peace into conversations, guard minds, provide stability. Let homes become places of rest instead of pressure. Where there has been tension, bring gentleness. Where there has been uncertainty, bring calm. Where there has been fear, bring trust. Lord, for those searching for work, guide them. For those building something new, strengthen them. For those managing responsibilities, sustain them. For those trying again after disappointment, encourage them. For those carrying hidden burdens, comfort them. For those who feel unseen, remind them they are held. Help us believe that every faithful step matters, every prayer matters, every act of trust matters. Even when results seem invisible, Father, teach us patience that feels peaceful instead of painful. Teach us to trust your process. Help us stop believing that faster always means better. Sometimes roots grow before fruit appears. Sometimes preparation comes before opportunity. Sometimes quiet seasons become the foundation for future blessings. Help us embrace the season we are in without fear. Lord, thank you that our future is not controlled by uncertainty. Our future rests in your care. Thank you that you see paths we cannot see. Thank you that solutions exist before problems appear. Thank you that opportunities can arrive unexpectedly. Thank you that your ability exceeds our limitations. Teach us to pray with expectation and live with peace. Teach us to ask boldly and trust calmly. Teach us to release outcomes into your hands. Father, where there has been financial pressure, provide relief. Where there has been confusion, provide clarity. Where there has been waiting, provide endurance. Where there has been discouragement, provide renewed hope. Where there has been fear, provide deep peace. Lord, protect us from becoming consumed by what we lack. Help us notice what remains. Help us notice what you have already done. Help gratitude become stronger than fear. Help faith become stronger than pressure. Help peace become stronger than uncertainty. Thank you for every unseen blessing. Thank you for every closed door that protected us. Thank you for every delay that carried wisdom. Thank you for every answer still unfolding. Father, strengthen our trust when answers feel distant. Strengthen trust when progress feels slow. Strengthen trust when we do not understand. Strengthen trust when emotions rise. Strengthen trust. Help us remember that your character does not change. You remain good. You remain faithful. You remain present. You remain able. Lord, help us become people who live open-handed, people who trust rather than cling, people who receive rather than force, people who pray rather than panic, people who move forward with peace. Shape our hearts into hearts that rest in you. And in this moment, for every listener, let a gentle confidence begin to rise. Not confidence in circumstances, not confidence in numbers, not confidence in immediate outcomes, but confidence in the one who holds every tomorrow. Let peace settle deeply. Let burdens become lighter. Let hope become stronger. Let trust become quieter and deeper. Let this morning feel different. Let your presence become more real than fear. Let your faithfulness become more visible than uncertainty. Let your peace become stronger than every question. And as this day continues, remind us again and again that we are not carrying life alone. You walk beside us, you guide us, you sustain us, you provide, you remain near, you continue working even when we cannot see. You continue preparing even while we wait. You continue opening doors even before we arrive. You continue caring for every detail. You continue surrounding our families. You continue bringing peace into our homes. You continue giving daily grace. You continue strengthening weary hearts. You continue making a way. You continue holding tomorrow. You continue writing stories of provision. You continue teaching us trust. You continue leading us gently. You continue filling empty places with hope. You continue showing kindness in quiet moments. You continue being faithful through every season. You continue carrying us with steady hands. You continue reminding us that your timing is perfect. You continue proving that what is placed in your hands is never forgotten. You continue inviting us to rest, to trust, to believe, and to wake each day with calm expectation that your goodness will meet us again and again and again. There are moments when worry arrives quietly. It does not always come with noise. Sometimes it enters softly and sits in the background of the day. It follows thoughts. It appears in ordinary moments. It whispers questions about tomorrow and places pressure on the heart before the day has even begun. And for many people listening today, financial burdens and unanswered concerns may feel heavy. You may be carrying responsibilities that seem larger than your strength. You may be wondering how things will work out. You may be trying to remain hopeful while quietly feeling tired. But in this moment, allow yourself to become still in the presence of God. You do not have to carry every answer. You do not have to solve every problem before peace becomes possible. You do not have to hold the entire future in your hands. Today we come before God with open hearts and willing spirits, releasing fear, worry, and every financial burden into His care. Father in heaven, thank you for meeting us in this moment. Thank you that we do not have to hide our concerns from you. Thank you that you welcome us exactly as we are. You already know every thought before we speak it. You understand every pressure before we explain it. You see the worries we carry quietly and the burdens we rarely mention. And still, you draw near with gentleness. Lord, for every person listening now, let your peace settle deeply into their spirit. Quiet the noise inside their mind. Slow every anxious thought. Remove the pressure to have everything figured out. Let this become a moment of rest, a moment to stop striving, a moment to remember that you are present. Father, there are burdens people have carried for too long. Some are carrying concerns about provision. Some are carrying responsibilities for their family. Some are thinking about bills, obligations, work, opportunities, and uncertain situations. Some have tried to stay strong for everyone else. Some have smiled while quietly feeling overwhelmed. Meet each heart with compassion. Let them feel safe in your presence. Lord, teach us how to release worry. Teach us how to open our hands. Teach us how to stop gripping tightly to things we cannot control. Sometimes we believe that worrying means we care more. Sometimes we believe that carrying pressure proves responsibility. Sometimes we believe peace must wait until circumstances improve. But you invite us into another way, a way of trust, a way of surrender, a way of quiet confidence. Father, we place every financial concern into your hands, every unpaid bill, every uncertain decision, every fear about the future, every pressure surrounding work, every concern about stability, every question about what comes next. We release them to you, not because they do not matter, but because they matter enough to place in the care of the one who sees everything. Lord, where fear has become constant, bring calm. Where stress has become normal, bring rest. Where pressure has become heavy, bring relief. Teach us that surrender is not giving up. Surrender is choosing trust. It is choosing to believe that your hands are stronger than ours. It is believing that your wisdom reaches farther than our understanding. Father, break the habit of carrying tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. Many hearts are exhausted not because of today, but because they are carrying every possible outcome at once. Teach us to live one day at a time. Teach us to trust one step at a time. Teach us to receive grace one moment at a time. Help us remember that peace lives in the present while fear often lives in imagined futures. Lord, for those who feel trapped by endless thoughts, bring quiet. For those replaying concerns repeatedly, bring stillness. For those who cannot rest because their minds continue working, bring calm. Want mental exhaustion with peaceful trust. Replace striving with steady faith. Dump fear with confidence in your care. Father, remind us that worry cannot create solutions. Fear cannot guarantee safety. Anxiety cannot produce peace. Only your presence can steady the heart. Only your love can create true rest. Only your faithfulness can hold what we cannot. Help us understand that peace is not pretending problems do not exist. Peace is knowing you remain present in the middle of them. Lord, remove the feeling that everything depends entirely on us. There are people listening who feel responsible for holding everything together, responsible for every outcome, responsible for everyone's future, responsible for every answer. Lift that weight. Teach them they are supported by grace. Teach them they are not alone. Teach them that dependence on you is not weakness. It is wisdom, Father. Where there has been disappointment, bring healing. Some prayed for things that did not happen. Some expected answers that came differently. Some trusted and still faced difficult seasons. Meet them gently, restore trust, restore softness in the heart, restore the ability to hope again. Lord, protect us from fear disguised as preparation. Teach us the difference between wisdom and worry. Help us plan without panic. Help us work without fear. Help us move forward without carrying unnecessary pressure. Help us trust you while still walking faithfully. Father, help us notice how often you have already carried us. There were moments we thought we would not get through, and yet you brought us forward. There were situations that seemed impossible, and yet somehow provision came. There were seasons when strength appeared unexpectedly. There were answers we never expected. There were doors that opened. There was peace that arrived. Remind us of those moments. Help memory become fuel for faith. Lord, help us release control, not responsibility, not effort, but control. Help us stop believing that peace only comes when everything is predictable. Help us become comfortable resting in your care. Teach us that trust means allowing you to lead. Father, for every family represented here today, release peace over their home, protect their household, guard relationships, Cover children, strengthen parents, provide wisdom, bring unity, reom fear from conversations, tension with gentleness. Let homes become places of peace. Lord, help us stop measuring our future through fear. Fear tells us what could go wrong, but faith remembers who walks beside us. Fear imagines lack. Faith remembers provision. Fear sees closed doors. Faith remembers new beginnings. Fear sees uncertainty. Faith remembers your presence. Teach us to see differently. Teach us to believe quietly. Teach us to trust steadily. Father, there may be someone listening who feels embarrassed by their worries. Someone who believes they should have stronger faith. Someone disappointed in themselves for feeling anxious. Meet them with kindness. Remind them that you do not reject people who feel afraid. You draw near, you strengthen, you comfort, you stay. Lord, make our hearts lighter, not because every circumstance changes instantly, but because we no longer carry what belongs to you. Help us release outcomes, relatish timelines, relation pressure, relation expectations, relation the belief that everything must happen immediately. Teach us to trust your timing. Teach us to rest inside your care. Father, thank you for unseen protection. Thank you for things you prevented. Thank you for moments you carried us quietly. Thank you for provision we overlooked. Thank you for strength we did not recognize. Thank you for peace that arrived unexpectedly. Open our eyes to see your faithfulness more clearly. Lord, create in us hearts that breathe deeply again, hearts that sleep peacefully, hearts that think calmly, hearts that trust fully, hearts that remain open, hearts that are no longer ruled by fear. Father, let this prayer become a place of release. As people listen, let burdens begin to loosen. Let shoulders become lighter. Let breathing become calmer. Let minds become quieter. Let hope become gentler. Let peace become deeper. Lord, teach us that we do not have to earn rest. We receive it. We do not have to earn your attention. We already have it. We do not have to prove ourselves before coming to you. We are welcomed. Teach us to return to this truth again and again. Father, remove the voice that says we must carry everything alone. Pump it with the truth that you remain near. Remove the fear that tomorrow will overwhelm us. Pump it with confidence that tomorrow already rests in your hands. Remove the pressure to predict every outcome. Pump it with trust. Lord, remind us that our value is not determined by success, not determined by income, not determined by circumstances, not determined by visible results. We are loved. We are seen. We are held. We are not forgotten. Father, help us move through this day with peace. When thoughts return, remind us to trust. When concerns appear, remind us to release. When pressure builds, remind us to breathe and remember your presence. When uncertainty comes, remind us that you remain unchanged. Lord, let your peace become stronger than our thoughts. Let your love become louder than fear. Let your presence become more noticeable than pressure. Let trust grow quietly inside us. And as this day unfolds, help us walk more gently, think more peacefully, speak more softly, rest more deeply, believe more fully, trust more steadily, relate more freely, revive more openly, live more calmly, hope more courageously. And each time worry tries to return, remind us again that we do not carry life alone. You remain close, you remain faithful, you remain attentive, you remain patient, you remain present, you remain steady, you remain kind. You remain our refuge, you remain our peace, you remain our provider, you remain our comfort, you remain our strength, you remain our shelter, you remain our help, you remain our quiet place. You remain our source of rest, you remain with us in ordinary moments. You remain with us in uncertain seasons. You remain with us when answers feel delayed. You remain with us when hearts feel tired. You remain with us through every concern. You remain with us through every question. You remain with us through every new morning. You remain with us when fear begins to fade. You remain with us as trust grows stronger. You remain with us as peace settles deeper. You remain with us as burdens become lighter. You remain with us as we learn to release. You remain with us as we discover that surrender is not loss but freedom. You remain with us as we lay down worry and receive the gentle gift of resting safely in your hands.